Hi everyone, and welcome to the channel. My name is Christy and this is my buddy Sammy, and together we are traveling in this converted Sprinter van. First of all, this is my first video on YouTube, so just thank you for being here. It's really appreciate it. And my channel is really going to be dedicated to all things van life, tips and tricks along the way, our adventures, and just everything we learn. I purchased the van originally in 2025 in August. And I worked with a builder in Boulder, Colorado to really spec out the van build. I was able to take one of their core layouts and then add a bunch of custom options so that it was really tailored for me and what my needs were. I ended up picking up the van in December. And so I've had the van now for a few weeks and super excited to get started. So thanks again for being here, and we'll get started with the tour. All right, so let's go ahead and start here in the front of the van. One of the first things I knew I wanted to add were swivel seats for the driver and the passenger. I really feel that in a 144-inch Sprinter, or really any van that's around 20 feet in length, having these swivel seats really expands the living space and gives you a lot more option for sitting, working, eating, etc. And so I really love that I added these. They're super easy to swivel around. There's a lever right underneath the seat and you just move them into place. The other thing I added right underneath the passenger seat is the Espar diesel heater. Traveling in the van, especially traveling with my dog Sammy, I want to make sure that I have heating and cooling to not only keep myself but him comfortable and, more importantly, safe as well. The Espar heater so far has been fantastic. Just really love having it in the van and it works super well. Okay, so the other thing that I really love that I added is the headliner shelf. This gives a lot of great storage, which is really important, and especially in a smaller camper van. Hey buddy. And not only that, but it also came with these privacy curtains. So if you need to do a quick change or you want to use this for privacy at night, these blackout curtains are really wonderful. There's one on the driver's side as well as the passenger side, and you can either tuck it out of the way or fold it back up in the shelf when you're not using it. So those items were really important to me. We'll go ahead and turn the camera around now and take a look at the kitchen and the bench seat here as well. Okay, so next up is the kitchen. So there is a great kitchen galley here. And this kitchen galley has a really large fridge, a pull-out drawer, and then a bunch of cabinets above the fridge as well, and a really deep sink. So let's go ahead and take a look at that. All right, so above the kitchenette galley is these wonderful cabinets. Now these go the whole length of the van, which is really nice. They're beautiful blue color and bamboo. And this is where I typically store my cookware and dishware and food. Below that, you'll see the window here, and this one slides open so that you can get some fresh air. And then I love this little divider wall here with a spice cabinet and some extra cleaning supplies. And then the last thing you'll notice here on the kitchen galley is that there is a really deep sink, which is really great for washing dishes, you know, bathroom, personal hygiene, etc., with a super nice residential style faucet and soap dispenser. I love that I have the insert here, which gives extra counter space as needed. The bamboo is beautiful. And there is an outlet here for cooking or charging any of your appliances. I've got two 110 outlets, of course, USB and USB-C. Right below on the right-hand side here, I have a really large drawer, which has really all of my kitchen items in it. So cooking utensils, knives, dishcloths, silverware, measuring spoons, etc. And below that is the fridge. This fridge is huge. There is a ton of storage. I can easily get a whole week's worth of groceries in here. And the freezer compartment is nice and quite large. You can fit a whole pint of ice cream in there, standing up as well. So having a great fridge in a van is super helpful. Underneath the kitchen sink, I have a ton of storage. So you'll see down here, I have a small trash can, my induction cooktop, Sammy's food. I have some of my coffee items and extra trash bags. Of course, an air fryer, which is great for cooking, and a dustpan because I've got to keep this place neat. The other thing is that you'll see here the water lines in the back. I have a 22-gallon gray water tank underneath the van. So I don't have to have any gray tanks sitting here in the cabinet. And I also have a water filter here in the back. I filter the water coming into the van, and I also filter it right here at the tap, which means I've got great drinking water. This is the plug here for my hot water heater, which I'll show you in a little bit. But that pretty much covers everything under the sink. Okay, so right here by my sliding glass door, I have this great bench. Now this is wonderful for not only sitting, but this is where I have the hidden shower. So let me go ahead and open this up, and inside you'll see that I have a composting toilet in there that can be pulled out, and also the shower curtain. Let me show you how that sets up. Okay, so let's go ahead and take a look at how the shower works. So these clips here clip right into a clip that is on the sliding glass door. So these just clip in here. And then there is hooks in the ceiling. Okay, so it's that easy. So you've got the shower curtain up. The next step that you would do is to extend the kitchen faucet and turn on the hot water heater. Hot water heater will take probably 15 minutes to get hot water. And when you extend the kitchen faucet with the extender hose, it connects right to the top of the shower here. And then all of the water drains into an aluminum pan with a drain that goes right outside the bottom. So it's perfectly water safe, and it's a great option for being able to shower in the van and make it still feel relatively spacious because these hooks do come out pretty far. It gives a little bit more space inside the shower so that you don't feel so enclosed. The one thing to keep in mind with these types of setups is, of course, it's a little bit more work to take up and to put down. And it probably takes about 30 minutes to let this dry when you're done showering before you want to put it away. You really don't want any mold getting on this, and you really don't want things staying wet. Okay, so let's talk about one of my other favorite things in the van, which is this Lagun table. Now this Lagun table is connected right to the shower bench and can move up and down. It is a really great workspace to be able to eat, to be able to work. I can work with my laptop and my electronics here, have a really nice view out the back of the van. But I also added a second mounting point to the front passenger seat. So that really just gives a lot of flexibility to also be able to work or eat from that front passenger seat and use the table also between the two front seats. So if you're traveling with anyone, then it's great that you can play games, eat together, etc. And having this Lagun table and a couple of different mounts certainly helps make that possible. Okay, so while we're still in this bench area, let's touch briefly on the electrical system that I have in the van and the water tanks. So I did get a 6 kilowatt hour lithium EcoFlow battery system in the van. And really, I feel like this is probably the minimum amount of power that really works for me in terms of having everything in my van run off electricity and no propane. And the fact that I work a remote job where I need to have Starlink and internet connected on a regular basis, as well as charging a myriad of electronics as well. The control panel is right above the bed, and that control panel, I'll put a little screenshot on the video for you all. That control panel allows me to monitor how much battery I have left, how long it'll take until my batteries recharge, considering any inputs that are coming in. I've got 3 ways to charge my van batteries. One is I can be driving and the alternator charging will recharge my batteries. But I also can connect to shore power and plug into any outlet, any standard 110 outlet, which is great. And then the third way is solar, of course. I've got 400 watts of solar on the roof, which is also just fantastic for making sure that the batteries stay topped up during the day. Now, as far as water goes, I know I mentioned earlier that I do have a 22-gallon gray water tank underneath the van, but I also have a 24-gallon freshwater tank that is in the bed cabinet on the driver's side. So the batteries are located on the passenger side cabinet. The water and the hot water heater are located on the driver's side in the bed cabinetry. So the water is inside the van, which is great in case it gets down to freezing temps. I don't have to worry about freshwater tank under the van, but I do have to be mindful of the gray water tank being under the van and taking extra precaution in case I run into freezing temperatures there. Now we're in what is arguably my favorite part of the van, and that is the bed. It might be slightly controversial, but I definitely knew I wanted a fixed bed in my van for a couple of different reasons. One, I know myself that I would not be wanting to make and take down a bed every single day, even if it meant I could have extra seating, and extra table space. I really wanted a fixed bed because it would also give me a lot of storage underneath the bed. So I'll show you the storage. I can actually sit up underneath the bed in the storage area, which is fantastic. So it really gives me a lot of cargo carrying space underneath the bed. And then the third reason I really love this bed is the size. It's huge. It's almost really a king-size bed. It is 72 inches from front to back, and it is side to side 67 plus another 4.5 or another 6.5 inches from that. So I think I have about 74 inches, give or take, going east to west. And part of the extra space in the bed is because I did add a flare on the driver's side, which you can see right over here. It added that extra sleeping space because I wanted the flexibility to be able to sleep north to south or east to west and have plenty of space up here for comfort. Like, my bed is my cozy space, and I really wanted to make sure that, if I was reading, relaxing, maybe watching a movie, hanging out with Sammy, that this space in particular felt really cozy to me, and having a really good mattress to sleep on was also really important because I feel like if I don't sleep well, that just affects everything else. And so this bed is definitely one of my favorite things. On the other side of the spice cabinet, there is also a little bit of storage here as well that I can put my phone or anything else. And then I also have these reading lights above both ends of the bed. I can charge my phone USB-C with these reading lights, and obviously it just gives a great low light in the evening when you are relaxing. Right here, as I mentioned earlier, is the touch panel for the EcoFlow, and then right above this is the control for the S-bar heater. So I can set the temperature that I want the van to stay at, and I can set how long I want the heater to be on or to be running. So I can set it for infinity just to keep it always on at that set temperature that I choose. Or I could run it, say, for just 1 hour, and then it would automatically shut off at that time. Above these cabinets here, I also have a ton of storage. So I keep all of my clothes, and I always use packing cubes for these. And then in here, I have all of my bathroom supplies and all of my electronics. So having this cabinet space, these push-in locks and hinges, keeps everything secure, nothing rattles when I drive, and it makes sure that nothing ever comes out either. So just a tremendous amount of storage in the van for such a small van. I feel like that is just super critical. All right, so the last thing we'll do is I'll take you underneath the bed, and then we'll go ahead and tour the outside of the van and show you a few more things we added on the exterior and maybe a little plan for the future. Okay, so now we are under the bed in what most people refer to as the garage area. You'll see here on the left-hand side is where I mentioned I have the EcoFlow battery system. So I have down here the switches and fuses, a couple of outlets, and the EcoFlow power hub. And then behind the bamboo here, behind the bamboo bed system, is where the EcoFlow batteries are, which is expandable in case I want to add more. There's also a great amount of storage down here and down here, which is really great. And there is a little tiny storage cabinet right up at the top there. So I keep my hiking shoes, camp blankets, you know, just really all of my extra camp chairs, etc. On this side here, I've got the hot water heater. So this is where I can turn this in to heat up water for a shower or just any other reason. Got some of Sammy things in here. And then in the back here is where I have all of the goodies for my water and electrical system. I have my water hoses, my extension cords, and there's another cubby towards the back as well. So back here I have that extra backup battery. I have an REI cargo bin, I guess. And that just allows me to store some extra things. And then, of course, this giant thing here is all of the window covers. I have insulated window covers for all the windows in the van. And I guess the last thing I'll mention is the flooring here. I did upgrade the flooring. This is by a company called 2Tech2. It's an extremely high quality one-piece vinyl flooring that's woven, feels great, looks great, and is extremely durable. Okay, so let's go ahead and continue the tour on the outside of the van now. And we'll start with this table here that I added to the bench seat, the shower bench that we looked at earlier. This pulls down here and makes a really nice space for setting out drinks. And there's also a 110 plug right down there on the side, so you can actually cook out here too, which is really great. If you don't want to be cooking inside the van, you can plug in anything like an air fryer or the induction stove. So this is super nice. It's got a magnet that keeps it closed. And then right below it, there's a shoe cabinet. So, or I can put like Sammy's leash or any dog related items there, which is super nice. Okay, so moving a little further down here on the passenger side, I do have a really large window in the sliding glass door, which gives really nice views. And there's 4 more windows that came with the van as well. 2 in the rear cargo doors, and then 2 on the driver's side. Both of the windows on the driver's side do open for fresh air, which is really great when the weather is nice. The shore power port is also back here in the van. I have an adapter that takes this from 30 amp down to a regular 110 outlet, so 15 amps. So that means I can use any extension cord and plug it into a regular outlet. The van will recharge in about 4 hours. So I opened up the cargo doors here in the back to show a few different features that I have here. One right here is the water fill for the van. So I have 24 gallons of fresh water, and this twists right off here. This is a gravity fill system, and I have a couple of items here. So the first thing is this little tube here that goes into the water system that allows me to connect my hose. And then I have this Camco, it's like a collapsible freshwater hose. And this is really small and very convenient to be able to refill the fresh water whenever needed. I also have my electrical cords back here if I do want to connect to shore power, and my water filter as well when I'm filling this up. So this is also where the exterior shower is housed. So the shower head comes right out of this little cabinet here, and you can turn on the hot water heater to get a hot shower outside. There's actually a suction cup that suctions right to this rear window where you can use it to hang right here and take a shower. And then right inside the rear doors, I also have a shower curtain as well. So this shower curtain you can either use to protect the van, the back of the van from getting wet, or you can run it across the back doors for privacy as well. So on the driver's side here, I do have the flare space. So we looked at this on the inside when we did the bed part of the tour. That's got that window that opens up right here. And then I also added a ladder right here so that I could easily access the roof. We'll go ahead and climb on top so that I can show you the different components that I have on the rooftop and what that looks like. Okay, so I'm up on the roof now of the van, and at the front of the van is the Max Air fan, which has the ability to both bring in air and do exhaust air out of the van. You'll see that I have 400 watts of solar and the air conditioning there in the back that is able to run off of the battery system. Really important when traveling with pets or in areas where it might be a little warmer. Okay, so that concludes the tour today. Thank you so much. If you've made it all the way to the end here, I really appreciate you watching the video. Hopefully you'll hang around and keep in touch with us as we make more videos about our van life adventures. Thanks a lot, and see you next time.